We should be live. All right, let's see. I got to refresh.
We are live.
We are live.
Hello, everyone. Give me just a minute, and I'll introduce everyone to you. My computer's like really seriously acting super slow because of this app.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Sorry, we're late.
everybody.
We are
Hello.
late.
We have a good reason though.
Yes,
Cab
it was
7,
awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes. Cab 7 went live, and he ended up having so many people come up on his panel. There was 50 people up on his panel, and
Wow.
I wanted to be a part of it, and there was several of us on this panel that wanted to be a part of it, so we all went up there and did it, and and that was that. Let me do pop-out chat real quick. Hey, Country Coyote.
Hey,
David
Randy.
at the door. What is up?
It went.
We have Randy Johnson.
What's up,
Citizen.
David?
What's up, Citizen Z?
Sorry, guys. My thing's going really super slow. Hey, Citizen Z. Randy. All right. I'm going to turn my snap camera off because it's just literally making me mad. It's like, it's staying there.
Yeah, once you have it on, it's hard to turn that off.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it on. I closed snap camera, though.
You have
Yes.
I switched, I downloaded it and I switched mine to just back to my regular camera.
Hey, how's it going, Nicolette Cards, Craft, and Crystals?
Hey, that's my daughter. Hey, Nickelback.
Oh, hey. All right,
Miss
let's see.
Beautiful.
So I
Yay,
switch
it's
it back
working.
to my regular camera. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Much better. All right, so I'm going to introduce everybody that's on the panel with me right now. We have Carol out of the comfort zone. We have John with HSFL Paranormal. We have Diaryofhermind. We have K-Town Catchers, and we have Boomer Rock. Well, Boomer D. Your name, you need to change your name on there. It throws me off. So how's everyone doing? I've got to share this out. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't know
doing
why
now.
I have to change
I'm
that
doing
every
it.
time.
Tonight, I am fancy paranormal.
So fancy. All right, guys, I'm going to share this out really quick. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
There you go. Guess
So we're
how
still-
I'm able to do this?
How?
I'm using my son's hotspot.
Well, that works.
Oh.
Thanks to your son.
I was on and off on Cap 7s like 12 freaking times because my data just wasn't fast enough to keep up.
Yeah.
So it kept
Yeah.
bringing me back in. So my son's over here. He got a new phone and everything. He's like, "Hey, I got a hotspot. Why don't you use my hotspot?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." So cool.
Hey, at least you have that. All right. So, at least you got the
Almost went on my
hotspot.
headset.
All right. So we have a lot of people in here so far. Let's see. I don't even know how many we have. Hey, Zach. Got 13 people in here. DF Network, David. I think I named the other ones off. Go ahead and share this out, guys, if you can. And we're doing spiritual readings tonight. This isn't like, comedy night or anything. God, I can't talk. So we're doing spiritual readings. We're still doing what we normally do. We're going to add in possibly doing a spirit box. Hey, Michael. And, card readings. Like me and Christine can take turns. If Boomer can, he'll join in on that as well. I don't know if he's able to. And we have at least 3 people on here that have dowsing rods. Me, Diaryofhermind, K-Town Catchers, which goes by Shelby, guys. She's also Shelby. So does anybody else on the panel have dowsing rods?
No, I don't.
And guys, we are going to be, Kelsey and I are still going to be doing our spiritual readings every Thursday.
Yes.
We are going to allow guests to come up on the panel once a month. Just to let you guys know. Because these are going to be longer panels. That's why we're sticking to once a month.
Yeah.
I'm still sharing it out, guys. Sorry about that. And I'm going to have to like turn off my camera for 1 second in a second because I got to make sure my kiddo's in bed.
You are good. Hey, Grace. My dad's doing okay today. He's just really, really exhausted. So prayers are still appreciated. I still want to share out. That was another thing I was going to bring up tonight. I still want to share out my dad's PayPal. So if anybody is interested in donating to my dad to help with medical expenses, he does not have health insurance. I just want to try to help him out with that. So if that's something you all are interested in, we're going to put up the links here in a little bit. But yes, that would be greatly appreciated. And of course, prayers. Prayers are always great and always welcome.
Most definitely.
We got some people in the chat. Mabel and me. DF Network is in the house. We have Jerry Godwin, Zach Stanford, Michael Campbell. We have Francis Morlick.
Michelle just got in the chat.
Michelle.
Foxy Escapes.
Tammy. I hope everyone's doing good tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, if y'all haven't already shared this out, go ahead and share this out. And yeah, that's about it. We're gonna, I don't know, what should we start with tonight, guys?
I think we should actually maybe interview people on the panel first.
Yeah.
And stick around, guys. We are doing card readings, so if you stick around, you will get a card reading from either Kelsey, me, or is Boomer going to do it? Possibly Boomer.
I don't know.
And we'll let you guys know how that works out. So just stick around.
Yeah, we'll probably just like take turns and stuff. So I'm gonna start off with Carol out of the comfort zone if she wants to go ahead and talk about what she does.
I'll be right back.
Just talk about your channel or whatever.
So it's a paranormal channel, and I've been doing live streams on Sunday nights, and I have been doing scary stories. So so the scary story goes along with pics of real pics and some that are related to the story. And I think I only have one of those out, but the other one should be coming out soon. But there'll be like other investigations and things like that. So yeah.
Sounds fun. When did you like get involved with the paranormal world? What made you become involved with it?
I've always been very interested in it. That was, I had a couple experiences with like grandpas coming to me after, they've passed, like shortly after they passed. But I've always been, as far as I remember, always being an empath and a clear cognizant.
Okay.
I just kind of read on that and oh my God, that's what that is. So I feel things, right? I feel people and places and stuff, but I don't really have, I can't see spirits. I can't really hear them. I can't, those kind of things. I'm not gifted in that area, but I went to a cemetery, and my first experience of actually what I truly felt was feeling something there. And it was kind of, was all new and kind of like, it was kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we got John with HSFL. You all know about him. I'm just kidding.
We know all about him.
Go ahead and talk about yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is John. I'm with HSFL Paranormal. Let me take the filter off so you guys can see me.
Oh God.
Oh, my God.
Put it back on.
Dear Lord. Who is that? But my name is John. I'm with HSFL Paranormal. I've been a paranormal investigator for the better part of 6 years. I started investigating pretty shortly after my near-death experience in 2013. I was hit by a drunk driver, and she flipped my car 4 times off the side of the highway here in Central California. Ever since that point and where I actually had my heart stop and I physically died and came back, thank God to the EMTs that saved my life and the Marine who was coming back home from being on visiting his family before he went back to being on duty. He pulled me out of my car. The last thing I remember is getting out of my car and lighting up a cigarette and saying, I don't feel good. And then I collapsed. And the next thing I remember is that I woke up in the hospital. They told me I had died twice, actually, and the longest period was 2.5 minutes. Ever since then, I've become, I guess the word is more sensitive to the paranormal. I've developed kind of an empathic feeling. I can sense the energies. I have had situations where I've heard spirits, but I don't call myself a medium. I just call myself empathic and sensitive to spiritual energy. And I've been investigating, trying to find evidence of life after death ever since. I love exploring haunted and abandoned locations all over the desert Southwest, based here in the Central Coast of California. And it's been an amazing experience. And the YouTube community has really shown me a lot of different methods in being able to investigate and get better evidence, using new age technology that wasn't really there in the paranormal field a couple years ago. So I always love experimenting with different types of paranormal tools. One of a few tools that I religiously use, or actually, first thing I rely on is myself and my team, to be able to um, sense what's going on in the house, and I can immediately tell how the house characteristics are going to be like, and what kind of spirits inhabit those homes or businesses or locations. A second favorite tool is a K2 meter. It's a electromagnetic field detector. Second one is my Olympus recorder, which captures electromagnetic or electro voice phenomenon, or EVP. And then another tool that I like to use is a spirit box. This allows us to better to communicate with spirits that we might not be able to hear audibly. This allows us to scan for random radio noise to be able to channel spirits into speaking with us and getting some more information about what happened to them. So it's been an amazing, amazing journey, and I've been really blessed to meet such great people, Carol, and Kelsey, and Diary, and now K-Town Catchers, and among a lot of other people here in the paranormal field. Thank you for letting me speak.
Oh yeah, definitely. And thank you for being up here. Thank you all for being up here. Seriously.
Thank you.
Couldn't think of a better crew.
Aww.
All right. Since Christine is checking on her daughter right now, Shelby, if you want to kind of talk about your channel and just talk about your channel and yourself.
Well, of course, my name is Shelby. Kelsey is one of my very best friends that I've known for a good while now, and me and her have always been interested in the paranormal. So she came to me and said, "Hey, I want to start a YouTube channel." And I was like, "That's awesome. That's great. I've got your back 100%. Then after a little convincing, she convinced me to start a channel. After that, I did start doing some videos and a couple, in some vlogs, even with her. But then recently I've been working almost 60 to 72 hours a week. So I haven't been live in a while, but I work at a group home for children. I currently live at the group home for children as well. And one of the things that I've realized is this place is haunted. So I'm wanting to look more into this place a little bit. But I've always been interested in the paranormal. I get very sensitive when like spirits are around, and Kelsey can tell you.
Oh,
my
yeah.
my feelings change. Like I get lightheaded. I get different
She
whenever
also draws them in.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh.
Not even kidding you. Like my K2 meter will go to red.
Just something about me that just draws all the spirits in.
Yes.
So I haven't really been on YouTube in a while. So I'm very blessed and thankful that Kelsey and Christine have invited me on here tonight to join you guys and kind of get back into it. It's been a long time coming. So that's a little bit about me.
Alrighty. Well, Boomer just came back up here. Boomer, do you want to talk about your channel real quick and what you like your experiences with the paranormal real fast?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get this in real quick before my data fails me again.
Okay.
Yeah, because my son left with his hotspot, so
Yeah.
that's what the interruption was. So yeah, I have two channels. I'll mention briefly. Boomer Behind the Brush is my art channel. It's mainly art, nothing but art. You can check out some of the videos I posted on there. I will be getting back to doing stuff on that channel in near future here. Boomer D, paranormal. I've been involved with the paranormal hands-on since 2000. I'll say 2013, 2014. Doing psychic readings for friends on private video chats through Facebook, who convinced me to start doing it on YouTube. So I started doing it on YouTube around 2015. I came into my gifts as a empath and clairvoyant around the age 5, 6 is when I started noticing something different about me. That's when I started hearing the voices, seeing images, picking up on other people's emotions, sensing spirit energy. At the time, I didn't realize it was spirit energy, but it's virtually the same as kind of reading a person's emotions, because spirit energy carries that same thing. So I started getting these I didn't know what it was at the time because I was a kid, but I noticed, like, for some reason, like it was about the same time I started preschool, so I kind of noticed it more then because I started having these emotions that started contradicting each other, and I didn't know what it was. I was labeled a disturbed child and all that and everything because it got to me. But yeah, so now I just kind of do whatever's paranormal on my channel. In the past, I've kind of done a free-for-all kind of thing on my channel. I'm revamping again since I came back, and now I'm starting to get back into just the paranormal on that channel. And I've just started doing this thing on Wednesday nights with the improv storytelling thing. And I'm planning on, hopefully, once I get my Wi-Fi squared away, Friday nights. However, tomorrow is going to have to be canceled. Start doing just a paranormal session, kind of like this, where I have people on the panel. They can either do, I have a special guest up doing either rods, EVPs, card readings, or pendulums, or whatever. And then, after 30 minutes of that, I'll bring up other people and do the paranormal discussion thing, where people can either discuss their paranormal experiences or just talk about paranormal in general, the different aspects of it and all that. So yeah, in a nutshell.
You are a nutshell. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Boomer. I appreciate
I'm the
it.
nut in the shell.
Same.
Look,
Diary
in
of
Kelsey's eyes,
Hermind.
I'm not even worthy. It's just an empty nutshell. Wow.
There is a wrench for every nut.
Oh, love it. But thank you, Boomer. Appreciate it. And Diary of Hermind.
Thank you. What
What do you do on your channel, or what are you going to do on your channel, and what brought you into the paranormal world?
Well, so far on my channel, I have uploaded like sometimes nature videos. And I do plan on live streaming soon. I am probably going to be, I'm trying to get around the schedule. Obviously, you guys know that it takes a while. Around this time, it's kind of hard for me because I'm trying to put my kid to bed at the same time. And she misses her mommy, so I have to go say goodnight like 1,000 times. So I'm trying to think about a good schedule for me to do that, as well as I suffer from autoimmune problems. So I go into these flares and I say I'm going to do these live streams or post these videos I'm talking about, but then I get real sick. So I just have to kind of go with the flow. What got me into this paranormal is I had gone through a lot of crap, as well as having these autoimmune problems. And I had a really huge spiritual awakening, or what I call a reawakening breakthrough. And where my third eye was opened by
The third eye.
yes, it was opened by a seraphim angel and a cherubim angel. And the only thing that I've discussed this before, you can only read it in the book of Ezekiel. I met who I know as Yeshua. And so it's kind of like I dance between two worlds, which is our world and the world beyond. It's like I'm kind of in limbo sometimes, because I'm in constant communication with them. It's completely different. It's like when you experience like an NDE, near death experience, like John's talked about. Yeah, you get this big eye open up in the middle of your forehead and everybody looks at you like you're a freak. And that's basically what happened to me.
Well, you are. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
My third eye just opened.
It's trippy, John. You know, you can close your eyes and you don't have to see anymore with your two eyeballs. You could just see with your third eyeball.
Might shut too.
That's what I do, you know.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know how I do it, but I have the ability to see. It's like when I close my eyes, I can see beyond
I
the
can
veil.
see too.
Sick. Sweet.
You can't take John anywhere.
I know.
But, you know, you think you're going crazy when you go through all that. And
No,
as
you do.
I feel like I'm on repeat, but you know what? You get new people in the streams who haven't heard your story, but
Yeah.
you do become repetitive. So I feel awkward sharing the same story over and over.
Don't feel awkward because we got like a different person, David Foder. He said it seems these panel members are talented and legit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there are new people out there, you know.
Yeah, he came
don't feel
over
awkward.
from Missy's channel, Shadows of the Moon. He frequents there. I haven't seen her go live lately. I know she said that her boss was in or out of town, so she hasn't been able to go live. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty trippy. You think you're going crazy, but then you don't know this is old school paranormal, not until you get into the paranormal. And I say that there's a fine line between paranormal and spirituality. It's pretty much the same thing. However, a lot of people in the paranormal field have not tuned in completely. And I said it before, we're all amateurs in this field. we're kind of go flying by the seat of our pants. A lot of us don't even know what the hell we're doing, and we're learning. We're all learning all the time.
I totally
So, yeah.
There's something interesting David just brought up. He said, would the panel consider participating in a murder research project that I'm conducting? We could do it live here on this channel.
Definite no for me on that.
Well, I would be interested.
What does that entail?
As long as I don't get murdered and I'm not the one being researched, I'm okay.
David, if you can message me on Twitter or on my Paranormal Facebook page, so we can further talk about this, I'll definitely consider it.
She's got her links in her about page. I've got my links in my about page, David.
And the sharpshooter's been posting up our links. Thank you, James. I really appreciate that.
The only reason why, the main reason why I say no to this is because I was involved in some, in the past, some missing persons cases and stuff, which kind of made me feel like my abilities failed me because I was wrong on both accounts, where one turned out with a good income or good outcome and the other turned out with a bad outcome. And I just won't deal with any kind of investigation stuff. I mean, I'm happy to sit on my channel and, you know, do a session with somebody. It comes along, and I'll pass on a message from somebody's loved one or something like that. But if it deals with murder cases or anything like that, I have to kind of back away from those.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and if you don't want to do it, then that's fine.
I mean, I just want to explain to who was it again? Dave? What was his name?
David Fodor.
Yeah, I just want to explain to Dave. I'm not trying to be, a jerk about it by just saying plain out no. I figured let me explain a little bit why I don't deal with that stuff anymore. So.
Yeah.
So David, when you said Andrew Gannis, are you talking about like that from the 1930s or?
Hello? I'm just kidding.
What? Hello?
What? Hello? Love it. Well, so we have several things that we can do this evening. One of which is card reading. And by the way, were you done, Christine?
No.
I didn't want to interrupt.
I wasn't done. I also want to I kind of miss talking to people on the panel. I asked Kelsey to bring you up, Carol, because I'd noticed as I'm over here, we hop to different streams. I've noticed that the spirit box says your name quite often. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. And that was one of the things you wanted to bring up, Kelsey. Did she leave? I think I left.
No, she said, hold on.
Just scared her away.
I just sent her away. She's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I can attest to that fact that Carol is definitely in tune with the supernatural spirit world, and they are very knowledgeable of her presence.
Oh yeah, they are.
But, yeah.
It's the same with me. It's the same with Kelsey. Lou Rock is definitely.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, John, what does HSFL stand for?
HSFL stands for Helping Spirits Find Light.
Okay, got it. I just was thinking about
All
that
right,
today.
now tell us what it really means.
So I don't know. I kind of miss what Carol was saying. So I kind of wanted to get her spiritual experiences or what. I don't know how far in depth she explained what brought her to the paranormal.
I didn't go in depth.
Okay.
It was just kind of like a quick little thing, but so I am an empath, so I feel people, places, animals, you just feel it.
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to explain unless, you know, like I know Boomer, I can't remember who else said they were an empath, but, and I never put like a word to it. I always thought it was just an empathic thing too, but I heard the word claircognizant, and that's kind of what I kind of feel like. For instance, I can have one of my children tell me an event that's going to happen, and I already know the outcome of it, and it's come like true over and over again. And so that's kind of, you know, that kind of stuff happens. I have only had my grandparents come to me, like my grandpas, as far as I know, come to me like shortly after they had passed. But it wasn't something that I saw. It was something that I felt. And actually, one grandpa gave me, he wanted me to do something, and I did it. But then after, it was for something to do for my grandma, right? And I did it. And then afterwards, I thought, that is really weird. I wouldn't have known to do this, but my grandma totally freaked out on it because it's something that my grandpa did, that kind of thing, for my grandma. And, but as far as like mediumship, that kind of thing, like I don't see, and I don't like hear spirits, but I went to a cemetery on a live stream of mine, which was it was all kind of new because it was you know, it was live, but I was feeling some things that I've never felt before. So that was all new to me, but so that's about like the history. And so as far as like when I was a child, that's when I started feeling things as far as back as I can remember. So, and there was a lot of trauma, so I think that brings a lot out. So the spirit box thing, crazy. That's crazy, because I would first start, if I was on somebody's in their live stream and they were doing the spirit box, I would always they say, okay, write out if you have family members you want to get in contact with, and it was always Richard, my dad. And then that started coming up, more and more, and I saw it in I think it was like the second word that came up in well, we all know Patty's one of her live streams that she did, or videos, and then Clay's. Wasn't it Clay last time? Yeah.
It was last night on Clay's, but I did not know that your dad's name was Richard.
Yeah, and it comes up a lot that I see.
Yeah, and they actually say Carol out of the comfort zone. They say, and they do know our chat names, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
our consciousness is tapped into that, as well as they know the.
I've only had it one time where it said HSFL. They usually know me by John.
Wait, that was recent? Was that which live stream was that? Was very recent.
Wasn't that with
I think that was with Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you. God, I cannot think of his name. The other night when he came over and y'all went live.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But usually they call me. Usually the spirits know me by John.
Yeah, but John's such a common name, so it's kind of cool when they do say your. Well, we all have common names, right? All of us do.
Yeah, I think so.
There's
some
a
more than others.
Who has a British accent every time I go to the cemetery right by my house. It always says, "Hello, John," like that. And it, no matter what spirit box I have, he always says, "Hello, John," like that.
Can I add something in here real quick before I forget what I have to say? Backing up just a little bit to what Carol was saying about a family member coming through and presenting her with this task. And I wanted to, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one thing I always forget to mention when somebody asks me well, why do we have these spirits, or particularly past loved ones who come back? What's the purpose of that? And I've always named everything else I could think of, but I always forget. Sometimes, other than unfinished business of saying goodbye or whatever, other than relaying a message, every once in a while, they want to present you with a task that you must complete, because either they haven't, which falls under unfinished business too, but to elaborate on it a little bit more, that's one thing spirits will do, especially if it's a very close relative who, I don't know what her situation was, but like, let's say somebody passed, let's say a parent passed before they were able to tell the spouse or whoever or family member, oh, this, by the way, I've got a safe deposit box, the key is here, this is the number and the information. Sometimes that happens too, so they don't want to move on completely until they are satisfied that, okay, my wife now knows, and they're leaving it up to you to relay this information, to complete this task. So yeah, just to touch on that part.
Boomer, I was gonna say, we had a conversation on John's panel, and it was my sister. Do you remember that? My sister, you said red hair and the wedding ring. Do you remember the wedding ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
That could be a prime example of an unfinished task, and to assure
we asked that question, if I don't remember correctly. We asked, did you have any unfinished business? And I remember hearing that response.
Well, what happened at that particular instant, I had somebody coming through to me. At the time, I didn't know who it was for. I just assumed it was for Carol. Somebody had come through. At first, I didn't know who it was. They weren't identifying themselves. It started out about the furniture and stuff like that. But then when she mentioned the ring, and I asked her about it, and then it wasn't until after that I saw the image of this ginger-haired lady, and that's when I asked, well, what, any of your relatives a ginger? And I guess she wanted her to know that it was her sister asking about the ring, apparently.
And I didn't even bring up the ring. You said something.
Yeah, what it was is they came through saying, did they get the ring, or did they find the ring, or something?
Or you said something like, was there something? I think you said jewelry. You did say jewelry. Was there?
Well, no, it was a ring. It was specifically a ring.
Yep.
That's what I heard, was the word ring.
Yeah.
And it was as if they were saying, did he get the ring, or did they find the ring? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's an example. Like, spirits don't just come back just to hang out and say hi. Sometimes there's a reason for it. Sometimes that reason is they need you to complete a task they were unable to do, or they set forth a task for you to let another loved one know they're still here. Like, let's say, oh, my dad used to rub my mom's feet all the time, but I never knew about it. Dad comes through and says, you know what, just go ahead, give your mom a foot rub one of these times, and just tell her, I wish I could be here doing this, or something like that. That's a task within a message that says, they're here, they're watching, looking out for you. So
Yeah. You just gave me the chills again.
Oh, I have a tendency to do that with women. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord. Oh. All right. Does anybody have anything else to add to that?
John?
Dot.
Come on now, Boomer. We know better.
Another thing I forgot to mention earlier when John was cutting off the great, lovely diary, I was gonna express that somebody obviously forgot to tell John that it's not all about him.
Still not all about Boomer.
Give everybody a turn, John. Okay, fancy paranormal. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, because look, like.
Fancy. Oh, geez.
Yep.
He lives in California, so he thinks he's all Hollywood.
Wait, is that Zach Bagans?
He's the new Hollywood medium.
On this episode of Ghost Adventures.
New Hollywood medium.
Tonight, I get possessed.
Yeah. I thought that was a nightly thing.
Yeah, in Zach Bagans' world, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, we weren't supposed to drop names.
Hey, you said it. You said his name first.
No, I didn't. You did. I said Hollywood medium. Somebody else said.
I live in Hollywood, so
one of the ladies said Zach Bagans.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. I was doing a little smudging in my house because I noticed some energy was kind of weird in my house last couple
Oh,
weeks.
that explains the underwear.
Come on, Boomer.
The doorknobs rattling in your house, that was trippy.
And
Yeah.
actually, Shelby had that same thing happen to her today.
Yes.
It
Oh my
happened to
gosh.
me. It happened to me the day before it happened to John. And I was
What
like,
happened today when I was on FaceTime with Kelsey?
I wish
Like,
I could
right
get my
on
knobs
there.
rattled.
Yeah, if
Wow.
it's gonna be Zach Bagans, I need a little more hair gel.
Just a little.
Was that a demon?
Damon, show
At the
yourself.
moment, you look more like Professor Snape from Harry Potter.
Turn to page 434.
394.
394.
Hey, John got schooled.
Haha.
I couldn't remember the exact page, but I tried.
You're not a true fan.
Who was that anyway? I didn't see.
My name is
Was that
Alan.
I haven't had the pleasure, by the way, of meeting K-Town. Nice to meet you. Good to
She
see you.
is my friend, my bestie, Shelby. So
Hey, you guys want to see something cool?
what?
Look, see what I'm doing right now. Look, see what I'm down to doing right now.
I can't see anything.
I can't see you.
Ease, because I don't have my Netflix. There's no Wi-Fi. Oh wait, is my camera not on?
No.
Camera on, you knucklehead.
Cool.
There you go.
Yes.
Talking about diehard Harry Potter fans.
Yes.
By the way, hello. I'm being lazy laying down. That's why I have my camera on.
Mhm.
I
It's
have
okay.
no
We're all
line.
lazy every once in a while, right?
Me, it's like every day. So.
We all have to lay down. We all have to lay down at some point. So
Mm.
True.
goal
Yeah, but
getter.
In my
Yeah.
case, it's always by myself, so it's a little disappointing sometimes.
My jaw hurts
Dot,
at this
dot, dot.
point.
Dot.
And by the way, hello everybody in the chat land there, which I can't see.
Do you guys in the
I'm
chat have
surprised my
any
data's
questions?
keeping me up here this long. It's amazing.
That's
But I'm
awesome.
running purely on data. So I couldn't
Alicia.
stay in cab sevens for more than 30 seconds at a time. Like literally like 27 times in and out. Like, it took me 12 attempts to get in there. Then it was in and out throughout the I was like, oh, forget it. He got up to did he reach the 49? I wasn't sure.
He
We reached 50.
50, yeah.
50, awesome. So he had a full. I wanted to try that. I wanted to get the full. I wanted to be the first one to get the full panel. Damn you, Cab 7. Nobody can beat that now, unless
Well,
I
actually-
incorporate Hangouts with OBS. Like
We can
somebody
actually do 100, but I don't know if like my computer can.
Oh,
support it.
that's
Yeah.
the business
Well, somebody said they looked it up and it actually was for the $15 a month one.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not from what I read. But
That would be so hectic, though, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Right.
God.
I mean, if you're just gonna do it to like hold 100 for a certain amount of time, I think you should be able to hold that number for a certain amount of time for it to count.
We'll stick around till the end, guys, and maybe you'll come up here and we'll get this to the maximum. Just saying.
You know, it's
Tracy,
actually funny,
Tracy said
That would be trippy.
Tracy's got a question. Says I've felt a heart here today at my home. What do you think that means?
I felt a what?
A heart?
Heart.
I don't know if she means heartbeat or I'm not sure.
I'm
Can you
trying.
elaborate on that, Tracy?
Carol was holding her hand up. I don't know.
No. Dream walking angel.
Oh, you're waving.
Hey, Steph. Hi.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Is that Patrick Moyer? Moyer? What?
Mayor.
The
Mayor.
French guy?
Mayor? Yeah. Well,
So
the Canadian-
David
Well,
Fodor has a
Canadian
question
friend.
next.
oh, Tracy said heavy feeling, not heart feeling.
Okay.
Oh.
Now,
heavy
what'd
feeling.
you say, Christine?
David said, is there a limit to the distance you can communicate, such as Illinois, to the location of the physical place? No.
Apparently not.
No. No.
Yeah, I recently discovered that. No, I was always under that assumption as well, that there's a certain distance that before
Spirits.
they're unable to communicate. But John and I both proved on a live stream that spirits can communicate to other spirits from very long distances away.
Yeah.
We were both running programs. I was running my app plus the Afterlight box, or was it Afterlight, right? Afterlight box. He was running something on his computer, and
I was running the SCD2 software.
We were getting conjoining results.
Mm-hmm.
And just as we started discussing, I think he actually posed the question, can you communicate with the spirits at Boomer's place? And almost immediately it came over his end. At the same time, mine gave me a yes answer via interaction with the app. His came over, says, coast to coast EVP.
And I live in California. Boomer lives in New York.
Apparently, there's no limit to distance as to how far they can communicate.
Well, I know I can talk on the phone to somebody across, far away and still get their vibe and still kind of, yeah. So I don't know if that's...
I do that via internet too. For some, like I pick up everybody's emotions here, which John, I don't know what's got you worried, but everybody else seems to be in good spirits, other than Diary, of course. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you think about this, about it,
I was reading the chat.
We do spirit box sessions for people all around the world, and they're communicating with their loved ones here at my home. And imagine these people are all the way in like Australia and stuff like that.
Right.
So I mean, I definitely think it's very possible.
The way I like to describe that is, if anybody's familiar with Ezekiel's will, think of that in the essence of telecommunications, web communications, why people are so scared about 5G, all of that radio communication, it's basically ties down to frequency, okay? And in our spirit body, that's how we communicate. We communicate with frequency.
Now, here's a question for that. Regarding the 5G, do you think it's possible that we could produce enough frequency to open up the spiritual portal wide open?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure my son will probably soon figure that out, because he just got a new cell phone today with 5G.
Ooh.
So
Now,
and it's
John-
funny we're talking about this because I mentioned that to him about the 5G thing. Like, what? Yeah, so
I want to personally say that I do think that I know for a fact if I were to turn off my power, well, you know, John, if you were to go in a place and you do an investigation, right? If you turn off your power, and if anybody's in tune, if they've got their third eye open and they are in tune with the spiritual world, you know, you can base it, it's almost like white noise. White noise, you're able to hear spirits better. I'm trying to give a little bit of an example there. So when you have these bandwidths of high frequency traffic, it does essentially open up, and that's why I think the veil is also getting thinner. It has the essence of opening up essentially a portal. And a lot of people, if you've noticed, we were talking about this in Cap Sevens in the chat. That somebody asked me, it was Tiffany Pagoda asked me, do you think that illnesses like autoimmune problems tie easily into spirituality? And I was like, most definitely. Have you noticed all of a sudden fibromyalgia pops out of nowhere? All these people are getting diagnosed with fibromyalgia. What is fibromyalgia? It's basically a disease that they don't know what the hell is wrong with you. And that's what they just put a label on it because all these people are having the same symptoms.
That's what I have.
Yeah,
sister
same.
has
I have it as well.
hypersensitivity at the nerve endings, which affects
Right.
muscle and flesh.
And what do
Yeah,
you do?
my mom has it. My sisters have it.
Yep.
So what
A
do
lot
you
of the
do
females in my family have it.
when you are okay?
So you have it,
Has
John?
anybody on panel ever listened to binaural beats? I know I've given Kelsey some. Have you listened to binaural beats, Carol?
I haven't.
Yes.
Okay.
I used
John,
to
have
have
you
to,
listened to, do you know what binaural beats are, John?
Mm-mm.
All right. Have you listened to binaural beats? Okay. So we know what Carol, me, and I introduced Kelsey. I have, okay, there's different forms of meditation, okay? One form of meditation you can do is not listen to anything. You just go, you're completely still, you go within, you have no sound whatsoever. Another form of meditation a lot of people are doing is they're listening to these binaural beats, isochronic tones,
okay,
theta,
yeah,
beta,
yeah.
alpha waves. And what happens is it helps you open your third eye better. It helps you unblock all your chakras. So guess what? That's almost like proof even more. All these bandwidth frequencies, they're opening you up and you don't know what the heck's going on. So your chakras are getting blocked. You're all out of sorts in your body. You're starting to get sick. You don't know what's going on. You're not completely tuned into the spirit world. And it's all of these frequencies pounding down on you, making you that way. And it's the frequencies that you cannot hear. Most of those binaural beats that you will play, a lot of them you cannot hear without headphones. If you play them on your phone, they will play, but your ear cannot actually hear them. These are called silent frequencies, the frequencies that your ear is not going to pick up on. And within your hearing range, however, it may be within your pet, your animals may pick up on it, the birds. But you're just going to get all out of sorts and you don't know what's going on until you start meditating and tuning in. Then you're going to be able to hear that frequency even more. You're going to know what's going on and you're going to know why your body's so sick.
And now that you mentioned,
I hear something weird. I think I'm able to hear on those frequencies. I'll briefly describe an incident when I was a kid. We had this dog who, for no reason at all, kept jumping the fence and running off in the neighborhood every so often. And I started to realize, like, I was hearing this weird tone in my head every time that happened. And my dad kept saying, well, she's just a bad dog. I was like, no, Dad, there is somebody around the block blowing a dog horn or a dog whistle. because I hear this tone in my head, and it went on for months, and then one day he just caught this kid in the neighbor's backyard sitting there blowing a dog whistle, and our dog would jump the fence and run over, and it's like, how can I hear a freaking dog whistle? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're supposed to be at such a frequency that only animals, or particularly dogs, because of their keen sense of hearing, can hear.
I can hear him.
I can hear them too, and
Yeah.
that came about when one of my eardrums burst when I was a kid, and now I can pick up like these like crazy things from far away and these high pitched things, but yet a conversation between, like, if there's a couple people having a conversation, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I have trouble registering certain spoken words, but yet I hear sounds perfectly. Like, I could hear a car coming 6 blocks away, and almost time it to where it's going to hit my house.
Did you
by my house.
Boomer, have damage when you were in the service to your ears, like a loud gun going off or anything?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I have been around a lot of cannon fire. I've always either had earplugs or muffled my ears with my hands when I do that. But every time I went for an ear test, the doctor would say, you shouldn't even heard that one. Because from the get-go, it's like, all right, you know how you lift one hand for which side you hear it on or whatever. And he was hitting me with frequencies that he said I shouldn't have heard when I was raising my hand. So I don't know if that has anything to, but I mean, this developed, I was a young child. I was in like between 10 and 12 when we had this dog, that I noticed I was hearing this frequency I shouldn't have heard. So, and it was many years later that I was even in the service.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I wanted to hear what John had to say, but he stepped away. John, come back.
It's not all about John anyway.
John.
Jonathan. John.
Hey, his thing's moving by itself. Look at that.
Yep, I see
What
that.
thing? What's moving?
What thing?
Wait.
Thing
It's
on
like
the
his
door.
I can't
flap
see
on
any
his
of
door.
that.
John,
What's going
don't
on?
touch your door.
Oh.
Touch the door.
Yeah.
Your thing was moving by itself. The door was
Where the hell
standing
is
still.
John? I don't see. Oh,
That was moving by itself. It
I'm
started
getting nothing
moving
but
by
black
itself.
images here. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
That was
Oh,
interesting.
I think John was out there with some fishing string. That's what I think.
Do it again, Spirit. What were you
that's
going to
funny.
say, John?
So regarding the whole sounds and stuff, kind of on the same level of the meditation, do you think that out of body experience or astral traveling, does that open your third eye as well? And does that bring you closer to the spirit world?
Yeah, it does.
And I have a story about that. The first successful time was horrifying. And I've shared this on my panels before. I did an astral travel before, and this was one of my first successful attempts. And I ended up going into the astral realm. I actually physically watched myself as I was laying down, meditating, and I lifted off, and I could actually hover over my body. It was the most crazy feeling in the world. And I just, out of curiosity, I had to try this. Being a paranormal investigator, I was like, if this can happen, then really anything's possible. And so I finally successfully did it. And I was like, okay, well, if I can hover over my body, let's see how far I can go. And I was able to keep floating until I went in black space, and there was stars. It looked really nice. And then in the distance, there was this glowing kind of light. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. What is that? And I was like, is this another world or something? And the closer I got to it, it developed into a golden archway. And the closer I got into the golden archway,
You just have nightmares of being at McDonald's.
come on, Boom. No, this was one single arch, not two. This was not an M. So I went to this golden archway. I see what looks like a kind of like a shadow figure standing inside of the doorway, and I kind of like waved, no response. And the closer I got, there was actually two of them standing next to each other. And so I kept going closer and closer and closer. And by the time I reached the archway and started walking in, there was actually thousands of them just like putting their hands out. It freaked me out so bad, I had to force myself to wake up because I thought I was going to get attacked. Like I just got an awful feeling.
So do you like, I guess my question is, do you like knowingly cause yourself to astral project?
Now every time I meditate, I can't stop it.
I've always wondered how that worked.
The last time I did it, it scared the hell out of me because I did it. I ended up in Diary's closet. I'm looking around. I see nothing but jarred chicken feet all over, and it scared the hell out of me. So I was like, I gotta get out of here. Diary's closet is not where I want to astral project. I'm sorry.
You gotta love her closet. Don't hate on her
I
closet.
have intentionally.
I've had some good experiences
that I'm aware of. 3 times that I've intentionally tried to astral project. That I'm aware of. I'm laying there either in my bed or on the sofa. 3 different times in my life. I think it was twice in Indiana and once here, if I remember right. Anytime I tried, for some reason, I get as far as the ceiling. I feel myself floating up, and I see myself laying there still. But the moment I hit the ceiling, I snap back. Like, I can't get beyond a certain point for some reason. So I stopped trying.
Do you do it just through meditating? Or I thought I read that people can also like do it when they're trying to go to sleep.
So for me,
well, what I did is I set up the candles. See what I did? I read about it years ago. And they say light blue candles around you and stuff, and they're supposed to protect you from anything entering, stuff like that. So I did it I set up the candles. I just put myself in this very relaxed state and concentrated on, and I kept repeating to myself, spirit, leave my body, like that over and over again until I felt something.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
And I've still noticed now that like my door's been closed for a couple minutes, one of the door things is still moving by itself.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, it booted me out again. Did anybody get any of that?
Most of it.
Most of it.
All right. Anyway.
No yawning allowed.
I know. Dang it.
It's
I'm making me some
You're gonna
coffee.
make me tired, Kelsey.
I'm just like right over here. I'm gonna warm up some water for my coffee.
Here in a minute,
press.
I'm gonna go make me some noodles.
Noodles.
I'll chime in more on that astral projection in a second.
Yeah, I mean, I've every time I meditate now, I go immediately into the vibrational stage, and it's something I can't control now that I've done it, and I almost feel myself trying to leave my body every time I meditate now because of that one experience. I've just become in tune to astral traveling since the first time I've tried to do it.
I've always wanted to experience it.
It's kind of uncomfortable the first time because when your body starts trying to vibrate out, your like aura tries to vibrate out, or your whatever your presence is, your soul, it's a really weird feeling.
Yeah.
Not
the
a
only
feeling
thing I've ever
Suffering an
experienced
earthquake
was
within your body.
pretty much. Well, I mean, it literally feels like your whole body is tingling. It's like
wow.
your whole body has gone to sleep, and then you start to feel yourself separating from your aura, and it's the weirdest sensation that you can experience.
See, I've only ever experienced sleep paralysis, and that's about it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
It's
I've
scary.
had that since I
Yeah.
was a kid.
David Fedor said, "What state are the panel members in?" He's in Trovey, Illinois.
I'm in
I'm
Knoxville,
in-
Tennessee.
I'm in San
Iowa.
Luis Obispo, California.
I'm in Go Nowhere, New York.
I'm in Sevierville, Tennessee.
I'm in Iowa. Just Iowa.
Just
And
Iowa.
Christine, Diaryofhermind is in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good old Central Coast of California.
I wanted to say something about the dream. I don't know. I think it kind of goes with what you're all talking about, but dreams. I have a family member who will dream like a day or so before of something significant that has happened to me, and this person and their parent will dream the same dreams exact. Now that's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's a form of
Dream walking or something, or
no, it's what's the word for it? Seeing in the future is the word for it, but that's a form. Most people, when they do that, it's usually during a dream state. What the hell is a word for it? Phoebe had that power on Charmed.
Like REM sleep?
No. The act of it is called. There's a word for it. I don't know why I can't think of it.
I think dream walking Angel would know.
Or whatever the word is for seeing into the future.
No, not clairvoyant.
No. Anybody ever watch Charmed?
Yes.
Yes.
Phoebe has that power. Premonitions. Sleep premonitions. Most people who experience premonitions say they generally experience them during sleep. Yes, she mentioned REM, but yes, it generally occurs during REM stage of your sleep, either before or after an active dream. Usually, like you'll see the prediction or whatever, and then your dream will carry out, and then you'll wake up, and then the parts that click with you is when you realize it actually happened in the near future. My son has had that happen to him, but during a waking state. It's sleep premonitions. Most people who have premonitions generally tell me it usually happens during sleep. Some people will have a premonition while they're awake.
I get them about certain investigations that I go to. I actually had a series of 4 of them previous to going to the David Oman house. And I had a dream over and over again, same dream of me collapsing in his house. What happens when I go there? I collapse.
Oh, you wimp.
You try being there. I
want to be there. So bad.
If you're there, it's very overwhelming. All I remember is I got vertigo, and then I just blacked out for a second, and then I woke up, like came to on the floor.
Yeah. Now like that can happen. That could happen to anybody because of the overwhelming sudden charge of residual energy. It could just be residual. It doesn't necessarily mean a spirit attack. Residual energy. If there's so much, like there would be at the Oman house due to all the activity, the overwhelming residual energy can affect somebody like that.
And being sensitive to high levels of EMF,
it's kind of like doing a quick blast of energy charge to a battery. Okay. Instead of charging it gradually, you take all this energy and you try to charge it all at once, and the battery will most likely bust or leak. It's the same kind of effect. When spirit energy comes in contact with you, it becomes so overwhelming, it will literally knock you out. It's like taking a punch from Tyson.
Yep.
And thank goodness I can take a punch from Tyson.
I get premonitions
to me when I go to Omen House.
People too.
But
and that just comes with the empathic side. I just get some I get some feelings prior to meeting people, and I'm like, okay, I should probably not meet this person.
Yeah. And he brings up a fact too. I've noticed that people with gifts or abilities are affected on a greater level because of their gift. Having a gift almost weakens you because it makes you accessible, whatever the word is, to outside forces. Taken over yours, I guess you'd say. You're more open to like energy vamps, things like that.
Right.
Because you're a giver and the other one's a taker. Well, if you're a giver of energy, which is what we do when we utilize that to do an empathic reading, if there's an energy vamp, and a lot of spirits are, it's kind of like suddenly sucking out every bit of energy out of a battery quickly, and that battery dies while your body literally just falls into a unconscious state.
So did you know that empaths attract narcissists?
Yes.
Yep.
Damn it, I didn't know that.
My family's living proof.
I actually have never heard that, but it totally makes sense because I married one.
Yes. Ugh.
With John at John.
Sometimes I hate being an empath.
Yeah.
It's a gift and a curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna share a short story with you, since you mentioned the fact that sometimes we do hate our gifts and we don't. I've shared this on my own channel. I don't talk about it much because how it affects me. I get very emotional about it, and the funny thing is, up until about 5 years ago, I've forgotten all about it. I didn't even I forgot it ever even happened, and my mom happened to mention it one time in conversation. I was like, no way, I didn't. And she assured me, yes, everybody in the family says, yes, this happened. So what it was is I was so overwhelmed by all this and not knowing about it, being labeled a problem child and all that and everything. I got tired of it. Apparently, I got tired of like being in class, feeling the teachers, 30 students all feeling their emotions. And I was like, the vivid images I was getting from, I assume the spirits relaying information to me of how they died or stuff like that. I was a young child. I was about 9 or 10. And it was also I wanted to stop it. So what I did was I climbed out on a ledge of the second story of my school building and was about to jump. And luckily the principal was able to get to me in time to drag me back in the window. Just as I stepped my foot over the edge, he grabs me and pulls me in. That's the most severe case of somebody, just being driven mad with this stuff. Psychology and going to see school psychologists and stuff like that did help a little bit, but I didn't know what to say about it, so I never really spoke about it to these people. So I let them go along, and I let them play it out as if they were treating me as a mentally unstable individual. It seemed to help a little bit, but it didn't, help everything, because I was unable to talk about this openly with people. Matter of fact, I never went public with it until I started YouTube, from people suggesting, like I said earlier, people on Facebook suggested, why don't you start a YouTube channel and all that. So for more than 40 years, I kept it kind of to myself, and only maybe a handful of people in my immediate family even knew about it. And we never really talked about it. And so, I just went public with it about 4 or 5 years ago, when I started my first YouTube channel. And so I mean, there's an extreme case of somebody, and since I've gotten on my hands and knees, sat outside of my bed praying to the Almighty Creator that He take this away from me, so I didn't have to deal with it. And then I heard a loud booming selfish in my head, and I'm like, So I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I guess it is kind of selfish, because having his gifts, I started thinking, like, all these people who have come back to me with feedback saying how much I've helped and how grateful they are and everything. If I was to suddenly not be able to do that for my own sake, that'd be kind of selfish, I guess.
I don't think the Lord would ever want you to be overwhelmed and not want to take a break.
Well, that's different. I mean, I can't, like, since then I've devised techniques and stuff through the assistance of other people, like June Gall introduced me to this technique I could use to kind of close it off a little bit, so it's not so overwhelming. And since I've been doing that, it's been a lot better.
Yeah.
But too bad it took 45 years to figure that out, because I don't know how many other times since that day that I've tried to commit suicide because of it. You know what I'm saying?
So Julie's
there.
Modern Life has a question for all of us.
Okay, and while Julie's asking her question, I've got a quick question. Try to make this as simple as possible. Where is it? I just had it. David Fodor up on up top said, "Hey panel, when you say that you hear spirits, are you saying that you hear physical sounds, or are you getting the speech another way?" Me personally, I don't hear it physically. Like, I feel like it's put into my brain to hear, where like Christine will hear it physically. So everybody is different with that. Because everybody is gifted differently. Yeah. So that's all I mean, does that sound about right?
Yeah, I'm the same way as Kelsey. The voices come to me in my head.
Yeah, like it's almost like,
what?
This is going to sound so ugly, and I don't mean this towards anyone, but it's almost like you're schizo, It's like, it's like you're hearing voices that aren't there, It just makes you feel kind of crazy, really.
But see, like, the way I hear it sometimes is like, sometimes I'll be laying, like for instance, if I'm going to sleep, and I'll just hear a quick voice, like, it's right in my ear.
Now I do that sometimes,
and it's like, Shelby, like that, like real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're just like, whoa, who just said my name? And it's like, it really freaks you out, or you just hear them say just something really fast.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. But most of the time, like, if I am trying to do, like, say I do my card readings, when I do that and my guardians help me through that, I'm getting what they are telling me through my head. I'm not getting it physically.
Yep.
But who was needing to ask a question? Was it Julia?
Julia, yeah.
Okay, she hasn't asked yet. There was one more question underneath David's. Let me get back up there.
Yeah, so there are 6 types of empaths: emotional empath, physical and medical empath, geomagnetic empath, which
Only
I'm
2 of those.
definitely on that one right there. There's
I did-
plant and animal empaths, and there's intuitive empaths.
Okay, I'm 4 of those. Apparently.
I'm an emotional empath, I'm a geomagnetic, and I'm intuitive.
What's
I
You know,
really don't know
honestly-
which one I am.
What's the
Honestly, I don't either.
geomagnetic?
It's you can feel the surrounding energies from the
Yep.
land itself.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm
Can you-
4 of
can-
those because I can talk to animals too.
I can't.
Without the
I-
little
I-
baby voice. Oh, you little boy.
I can't talk to animals, but like I can feel their emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I
Yes.
can communicate. I didn't mean speak in the sense, but I can communicate
So he's part of the
with
wild
animals
thornberries.
through.
Yeah, it's
can do
Dr.
can talk to animals.
Boomer.
I mean, I don't sit here and talk to Fido the dog and say, "Hey, what are you doing today?" He's like, "Rough, just laying around."
He's trying not to say that he's the next son of Sam. He's fine.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that I'm an emotional empath.
Or the next
for
Dr.
sure.
Doolittle.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Doolittle Boomer.
I've got
Joseph
Julia's
just scared
question.
me. Oh my god. Sorry.
I have Julia's question. She said, "What's it like for you to be an empath? You as individuals, there are different kinds, and we all are stronger than others. I'm just curious." Well, honestly, I still don't know all the empaths. Like, I don't know the depth of them. Like what the hell is the word I'm looking for? The definition.
Definition, yeah.
I don't know. I would have to be told about all of them to say, but
Right.
me, like we were saying earlier, it's a curse and a gift. It's
Yep.
like, God, how do I explain that?
Well, kind of, Kelsey, kind
It
of
gets
use
very
like,
overwhelming.
kind of use our
Which is a good
example
one.
as like an example. Like use our situation as an example, like between like what we feel between each other.
Okay, so like, say Shelby's going through something major. I don't even know it at the moment. I can literally feel and know exactly what she is going through before she even opens her mouth to tell me. It's that kind of thing, and sometimes that can be very draining.
Yes.
And we've learned that as friends. Like, we had a moment where we had to take a break from each other because of that, and because it is draining, because we were both going through so much at one time, where we were both feeding off of each other, and that can cause a ton of negativity. That's just a ton of negativity, and we felt that from each other. So it's like, but when she's in her high, like her good high, I'm in my good high, and that's why we have to be careful. And, like when you're friends with people that are empaths as deep as we are, you have to set boundaries and have moments apart from each other and take a few days away from each other, and have to understand that as friends, you have to do that for your own sanity, because you will drive each other crazy when you don't even mean to.
And that's kind of what we ended up doing. And like the same thing with me as with Kelsey, like, like I could literally, like with me, she would tell me, and she'd talk to me about her, her stuff that she was going through, and you could ask her, like I would literally like get angry, like angry, like to the point that I was shaking if she was dealing with something so stressful that had nothing to do with me, and just I could feel her emotions, and I would literally get so angry or so upset, like I would shake. It was kind of like I was feeling her emotions for her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I could feel that from her, which caused more of the emotions and negativity. And that's just what's so hard about being an empath. But there are also, good things that come from that. And that's being such an emotional, and you get your kindness from that, your love from that. It's just like, it's hard to weigh it out,
It's a survival tool also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yes. And my mom is also an empath. And actually, one day we were on our way to the gas station, and there's a gas station really close to my house, but there's one a couple miles down the road. The one close to my house is one of those types that like you would literally drive up to and it looks ghetto. And I don't even live in a ghetto area.
Oh Lord,
And
which one are you talking about? Shell
I'm
or
talking about
Weigels?
Shell. I'm talking about Shell. You already know.
You know what? I was gonna say Shell. I don't even live near
Yes.
you. I was gonna say Shell. Look,
It's always ghetto.
yeah.
So like
Yes.
normally I'm like, okay, I'll go in there and get a pack of cigarettes or a fountain drink or whatever, and I'll be okay. But that night, my mom and I just felt this huge feeling like there was no way we were going there. We just had a horrible, horrible feeling about it. And so
Drive the
like
extra
we
5
drove
miles
by
to the
it.
next one.
Exactly. We drove by it on our way to the other one, and there was just some weird people standing outside of it. And on our way back, there ended up being cops there, and I was like, okay, that's exactly why we listen to our gut.
Yeah.
Always. It's crazy, but it's
I'll be
very
right back.
true.
You know
That's
what's
fine.
sad is you don't, or maybe it's just me, but okay, I'm just gonna speak for me. I didn't listen to it when it came to matters of the heart. Being if you find somebody you really wanted to be with, but everything's in your face saying, oh, stay back. I didn't listen to it because, I just, he's perfect. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I got major red flags and I just fell madly in love with her and
Yeah.
It
Sucks.
happens.
It does. It does.
ended up having a kid with her.
It does. It happens,
Yeah.
I was
But,
lucky and got out of mine before I met Joseph.
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And somebody said earlier that I looked like a priest. And little fun fact, I actually used to be a Sunday school teacher.
Bad relationship.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I used to teach third and fourth graders.
That is so neat.
So guys, we're gonna stay on here for about another hour. Because after this is up, we're gonna move on over. Well, me and John are gonna go over onto his channel. So we're gonna do this for about another hour. We can just do this strictly spiritual talk, since that's what we've been doing, and people seem to be liking that and engaging with that. So if there's any questions that are out in the audience that you want to ask people up here on the panel, experiences, anything like that.
I have a quick question for
open book.
everybody because I don't know if it pertains to, even though I can't see the chat, it may. I don't know if it pertains to anybody on the panel or anybody in the chat, but had somebody recently had to put down a family pet, particularly a cat. I'm getting the word cat.
I can't.
And I'm getting the feeling they had to, had to euthanize a family pet due to health or something. So I was just putting that out there.
Well, I don't know if this has anything to do with your feeling, but it was literally a year ago, like maybe 5 days ago, that I had to. Well, my cat passed away. I didn't have to put him down, but
the anniversary of it was 5 days ago.
Boomer, you might be picking up on me though.
Oh,
You might be picking up on me because I was literally crying last night about my cat Boots. I
Aw.
miss him so much.
Okay.
He got so bad. He was blind. He was wobbling everywhere, and I did have to take him in.
And this was recent?
No, it's been, it'll be a year come November.
Jerry Godwin said I did Friday.
Wait.
Oh wow, Jerry.
Who?
Well, maybe he's picking up on you.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely something that was very recent.
What does this cat look like? Do you know?
See if they're showing me an image of a calico. I think it looks calico. I see a lot of orange and white. with a little bit of gray. It almost like a calico, I would say.
Sorry to hear that, Jerry.
But
I'd be interested to see what
it could
Jerry
be an
has to
orange
say.
tiger for all I know. It could be a generic reference to
That
just
was
being a
it.
cat
That
with
was
color.
it.
So,
The calico was it.
okay.
That is insane to me.
Wow.
That's insane.
Ed, sorry for your loss. Who was it?
Jerry Godwin.
Jerry.
Sad.
Oh, Jerry. Okay, sorry for your loss, Jerry.
Sorry for your
It
loss.
just hit
My
me as I was out in the
condolences.
kitchen.
Dang.
Boom! It hit me like a brick. Cat gone, and I started feeling like I needed to.
Talk about it.
What's the word again? Mourn. Yeah, like I got the sudden,
like sadness.
overwhelming feeling of mourn as soon as I heard the word cat, and gone.
It's never easy to have to put your animal down, or just
No.
to lose your animal in general. It's like, you know,
Mm.
like me personally, on a personal level, I don't know that I'm going to ever be able to have children. And so my dogs are my babies, you know, and so it would literally feel like I'm losing a child. That may sound ridiculous to some people, but to me, that's my babies.
I don't know. If
Oh,
I
no,
ever
I
lost Cass,
totally
I'd feel the
understand.
same way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh,
I am
yeah.
too dependent on my dog. I want to say something. Nicolette has been blowing my mind because Nicolette's cards, crafts, and crystals meet Diary of Her Mind. The two of you together would blow y'all's mind.
Oh, really?
She's been, oh my
yeah,
God.
that would be a
So,
powerful
She
force
says,
right
first
there.
she asked about spirit guides, panels, and experiences with spiritual guides. And now she's asking, does anyone on the panel have an affinity for a ancient culture?
Yeah, and I already responded.
Diary.
I've studied it.
Yeah.
I
so
literally
she-
study it. I've already read the entire Bible. Some of you guys might be like, whatever. No, she didn't. Oh, yeah,
I
I
believe it.
Oh.
I believe
That's the first thing I saw when I visited her closet.
did.
And then the chicken feet.
And then the jars of chicken feet.
I read it out, and for some of those who don't know, I read it in parallels in multiple languages. I started picking up Spanish again as well as Latin. I was
love Latin.
dissecting the root words of every single word that in the Bible, and I broke this code that I found in the Bible. I don't know what all I can say is those who know what it's truly like to be filled with the Holy Ghost, that's exactly, I had the energy to do that. And it brought me further back. My grandfather mentioned, he had told me something when I was really little, and I couldn't believe that I actually figured out the meaning of that. And as far as the Indo-Europeans, where our culture goes all the way back, when I took it all the way back from like the Nordic tribes down through Egypt, all the way up into India, where
Hey, guys, I'll be right back.
where those tribes were. So yeah, I've studied Egyptian mythology. There's a couple of books, I forgot the name of them, but I can recommend them to you, because what it does is it compares three of the most like Jewish literature, the Christian literature, and Indian literature, not just literature, but religious manuscripts, texts. And it goes through all of them. I mean, but these books, each book is like over 1,000 pages. So you have
Diary.
to be really into.
Did you see what she put? I have
What?
traced my lineage to Abraham.
Wow. Yeah, see, whenever you get into this, guys, not only are you tuning in to who you're related to, but it blows your mind when you already have the names of your ancestors because they're coming to you. Your many times great grandfather, your many times great grandmother, and they're coming to you and they're telling you their name, are talking to you, it'll blow your mind even more when you do trace the lineage and you got proof right there in your hand. But
That's on her dad's side, I'm pretty sure. It's not on my side. Am I right, Nicolette?
who's Nicolette to you?
My oldest.
Oh, she's your oldest? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You said meet diary. Okay. Is this the one who does healing work?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that night you were talking about her.
Yes, she said. Her dad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boomer.
John and Boomer are eating and making me hungry now.
I think John's trying to hide it. Boomer's like, no, I'm going to share this with the world.
Oh, I saw John's bowl over there with that cereal he's eating.
Oh, there it is.
Sponsor me. Sponsor me. Doritos, Pepsi, Folgers.
It's
Actually,
interesting.
pasta.
Because I remember telling you, Carol,
Whatever.
that your daughter was like on the right path, and that if you had stuck with like your massage therapy and stuff like that, and you're going into this spiritual awakening now, that you actually have the ability to heal people with your hands.
Oh, I did, and I put energy into them.
Mm-hmm.
And they call them vampires maybe, but there are energy suckers out there, and I've had many of them.
Yep.
And
Energy vamp.
Yeah.
and it could take a day for me to,
Well, you think about where Warsaw's been bringing up the Bible. You think about in the Bible when the plagues were sent out through Egypt. Look up the meaning of the word Egypt, guys. The actual original meaning. Go back to the Hebrew. And figure out what I don't want to I want you guys to kind of do some work on this, but slave.
Google it.
We're basically all slaves, right? In the land, it's time to come out of the land of Egypt. It's time to shed your stripes. When the plagues were issued out, one of those plagues was essentially, I would put it in a metaphorical sense of one of the plagues is the energy vampires, the ones, they call them something different. It's like, take the thorn out of your eye, or what was it? I think Paul experienced something. He experienced something in the Bible to where he had to pull the thorns from his body. You think about like the thorns around the head of Jesus Christ. But if you ever get like a twitch in your body, guys, those of you who have health problems, a twitch, I'm telling you what, I was actually going through spiritual awakening a few years ago, and I was able to catch a lot of things on my audio and on my camera. I got a twitch, I filmed it, and I zoomed in. I actually was able to catch this little thing. It was like they were sticking a pin. I can't even describe it. I'm gonna have to find that video because I do want to post it to YouTube. There's so many things I need to post to YouTube, but I actually saw this thing going into my skin, and I was asking God. I was like, I actually thought while I was going through the spiritual awakening that I was
like a hot needle or an intense bee sting.
It can feel like that, but it can also just feel like
I get those all the time.
Like
I get those.
Twitch. Now, at the same time, guys, some of them are not bad. Just think of this as in, we got the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere. We got the yin to the yang. We got the light to the darkness. Some of those things that are working on you, some of them are actually working on you and doing you good. However, some of them are energy suckers. The ones that are actually helping you, like so don't think, oh, if I get a muscle twitch, I'm cursed, Some of them are actually energetic elemental beings that are actually helping heal your body, pulling this energy from your body that's not supposed to be there, things like that. So you just kind of need to go within yourself to understand if that's
now is that the same as a spasm? Like if you're having
muscle spasms and stuff.
Because
I've had these moments where like I'll just be doing whatever daily task, whatever, like I'll be standing at the stove or whatever, or just as a matter of fact, the other night it happened during my live stream, and I'll feel, and it's usually on my right side all the time. I'll feel like a pinch, like somebody pinched me either on the side or the back of the arm, just above the elbow. Constant, like every so often, it would be like just a quick pinch, like your mom would do when she's trying to scold you, kind of thing. Anybody does anybody have any kind of insight on what that could be?
I have that. That could be, like I said before, it could be a couple of different things. One thing I want to mention before I forget, I did a full chakra cleansing last night. I did about complete balance. My cats were there to assist me. Cats are so awesome. Dogs are awesome too, but I'm just saying cats are awesome. They help balance your chakras for you. I was doing a full on, like from root to crown, guys. My cat was sitting at my feet because I've been feeling so sick, guys. So I have to do these full chakra meditations quite often if I'm feeling like I'm in a major flare up from these autoimmune problems. So my cat Rufus was at my feet whenever I was doing the root chakra. And it's not like I said, "Hey Rufus, I'm doing a meditation. Can you help me out?" No, he just jumped at the end of the bed. He got at my feet. Then it moved up to the sacral chakra. He moved up right at that time I started doing it. He moved up to where my sacral chakra is. I've been feeling kind of uncomfortable, heavy energy in that area. He started mashing his paws right at my lower abdomen, and then he just laid on me and he started purring. I started feeling like it was almost as if I went to somebody who would remove energy blockages, but I wasn't with anybody who was removing energy blockages. I was dealing with my spirit family to help remove those. But it felt like, some practitioners use those cups and stuff to try to pull out the energy, right? That's what it felt. It felt like a suction cup on my back in different places. And right there, I felt like it was a very major suction cup feeling. It felt like something was being pulled from my body. And then I felt an intense burning sensation. But it was almost as if they had pulled what they needed to pull out of me that was no longer beneficial to my body. And then they sealed it up. Does that make sense? Like, Then I was fine. And I've felt I did that full chakra meditation yesterday because I had been suffering from a severe cerebral migraine. And oftentimes if you have a migraine at the cerebellum, which is basically tied into your third eye, you have been either dealing with a lot of energy. People who are empaths will feel this way. And it's really good to align your chakras. But yeah, you don't have to go to anybody per se to get these things removed. You can do it yourself. All you got to do is meditate, be still, as it says in the Bible or in other religions, just talk to your spirit family, pray, ask them to help you remove these energy blockages and put focus into it and believe that you are being healed. But
you know what's crazy is when Nicolette starts talking about, I'm sorry, this is totally off. That's what my brain does. Just like,
it's okay.
Squirrel. And she starts talking about the RH factor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets trippy too, because what do they look for when they look for rheumatoid arthritis?
Well, it's just
they
not
start looking.
It's not originated. It's not linked to, they don't know where it came from. I can't put it in words that sound like I'm educated about it, but the origin. Thank you. The origin. They don't know the origin of it.
Well, honestly, whenever you study genetics, there are so many genetic codes don't
Yeah.
just think that the RH factor is something that's unknown. There are, if you were to study criminology or forensics, or if you were to get your DNA checked yourself, you're going to know that there's like 200 and something DNA codes they cannot explain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Those are the ones we get from the aliens.
but yeah, as far as that goes, we all, I don't know. This one's a touchy topic to go into because it's causing racial wars as we speak. It's been causing racial wars for millennia, on who's the most purebred race that's closer to God. And that's really tough right now since
There
about
ain't one
2000
anymore.
Since I don't want to get into this
Angel,
topic.
that's it. Simplify. Angels are the closest.
Yeah, but they
they'll
start
ever
saying,
be to
yeah, but
being the purest.
it's hard. But you guys in the
entities.
chat know what I'm talking about, okay? You know what I'm talking about. We've been experiencing this a lot. We're going through another shift in energy to just kind of weed that part of our history out so we can get closer to just love. But yeah, I don't want to go too. I don't want to cause a big topic here.
I will just say that I have rheumatoid arthritis and it sucks.
Yeah, so do I. And they look for that. They look for that factor because if you carry that in your gene pool, you're more likely to have that illness. So that takes you to another place. Why? Is this a plague? Does this go back to the plagues of Egypt? Am I still carrying this code? Why me?
Why me?
The heck?
I feel that. I'm only 26 and I feel so like my body in the inside just kind of feels like I'm in my 60s.
Oh my God, you
That's
make me feel
Nicolette
old,
too.
woman.
Nicolette will get.
You all.
Yeah, it's miserable for
You
her.
all here make me feel so old.
Hey, Boomer, I'm older than you are, so.
No way.
Yes way. I have a 31-year-old daughter.
Well, my son's 30.
Oh.
Just turned 30 in March this past year.
Carol, you like you're in your early 30s. I'm just saying.
Aw.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like, you don't look
makeup
a day over 35.
Oh, that's sweet.
Sassy
I'll be 50 in
redhead.
October. So
Kelsey looks like she's in her 70s.
What?
Sassy redhead, aka Barbara Wharton, had a question. She said, "How do you find out who your spirit animals are and who your spirit guides are?" This is going to be different for everybody. However, some people think we just have one spirit animal or two. No, you have.
I had to do peyote to find mine.
You have several. There's several. Some of them are going to work with certain chakras to help you keep balance. Some of them will work with you when you're going through a different spiritual energetic shift. It also depends on the positioning of the planet. Say, for example, if we're in Leo, you're going to see more of the lion and the lioness come to you and work with your energy if you are meant to go through that particular spiritual energetic shift. As far as spirit guides go, same thing. It also depends on the positioning of the planets. Are we going through a total solar eclipse? Are we going through an eclipsed moon? What kind of lunar phases are we in? But what I say to you is start working on this. You can't just pray one night and say, can you just tell me who my spirit guides are? No, you have to be consistent in your practice. Make it a daily thing. I meditate twice a day. You can start off with me. It usually takes about 17 minutes to get into a meditative state. So give yourself about 30 minutes a day. You could try to start doing it for a nap or for before bed, or a few minutes before you would normally go to bed. Or you can also do it a good time to receive spiritual messages is right after you wake up. try not to do much. Maybe you can run to the restroom, but lay back down and make that your meditative spot, meditative time to go within. Within 30 minutes of you waking up, so you don't get too alert, but you'll still remain conscious so you can hear the messages. And sometimes you'll just we were talking about spiritual gifts. Some people don't hear, they'll just get a name pop in their mind.
Yeah.
So if you get a name popping in your mind, you're like, oh, that's got to be it. Mine was his name's Zach. Okay, Zach.
What the? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Zach is the negative spirit who lingers around my house.
I kind of snickered when she said that too, because I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I can talk to you more about that. But Zach is known to be, my Zach is known to be a little bit of a jokester. Yeah. I say a fine line of being a trickster, but he's not. He's known as a seraphim angel. He's one of my close guides that got me through a lot. He also works with animals who are dying, and he also has come between my dreams and my daughter's dreams, giving us warnings. And it's the reason why is because my daughter and I were known more to be more in the earth, the nature healing, healing hands, healing people, healing animals, but close to nature. So you might be different depending on your astrological sign as well, but meditate on it. Either you might hear a name or you might just get one pop in your head. Try it out. If you ever do spirit boxes after you get this name in your mind, if you start hearing a consistent name constantly, somebody you don't even know, and you hear it on the spirit box, see if that's the one, or if you feel like, oh, that's familiar to me.
Right. And another
it might
thing
be your
is
spirit guide. I found out 2 of Kelseys on a spirit box. I was like, Kelsey, get in here. These names are coming through for you. So.
And another thing is
about, oh, go ahead, Boomer.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you pay attention, I know it's hard to do in your younger years because we're oblivious to all this, but at that time, but later on in years, if you pay attention, there are particular signs throughout your life that they give you that if you're paying attention, you'll see these signs, okay? Which can also lead to information as to like what your spirit animal would be and stuff like that. Is there a particular animal that you connect with more so than most? Stuff like that. Like for me, all right, well, I've always heard I grew up around a lot of Native Americans. They're Native. I have family on my mom's side. They're full-blood Native American, and they have these, rituals and things like that. But I first found out my spirit bird during I'll say session, which is the raven. And I believe my spirit earth animal, like we're told we have a spirit animal for every element. Okay, you got one for air, earth, water, and fire, is what I've been told. So I've determined my air is the raven, my earth is the horse. That's the one animal. It's either horse or wolf, but horses are the ones I get along with the best. Okay, I can understand them. Wolves I'm attracted to, so it's a toss-up between those. But I've never actually did the session to find out on those. And water, I would be the dolphin for me, I would believe, and fire being the dragon. Because throughout my life, I've picked up on these signs where, wow, I'm very attracted to dragon things, like whether it's if I could be in a room of 1,000 pictures and see that one dragon, like my attention is drawn right to it. So it can happen that way too. Like just look for signs. Like, I don't know, cats are always around you. Maybe your spirit animal is cats. If you look outside every day and see a dove or eagle or falcon or hawk, if that's the animal that you're most consistently seeing, it could be telling you this is your air spirit animal. That's what I grew up to believe. And yeah, and by the way, with the Zach thing, since you mentioned it real quick, the developer of the app I use, he actually used a spirit named Zach to help him develop this app.
Really?
Just a little toss out there on that Zach.
Oh, Tammy.
So
Aw.
sorry, Carol.
No, I forgot this was my panel, and I was like, "What the heck? That's a lot of money."
Well,
Thank you for that. Seriously, I will definitely give that to him, Tammy. Thank you so
Tammy's
much.
a
Awesome,
sweetheart.
Tammy.
She's a sweetheart.
If
I
you
just-
guys want to know, sorry, real quick, Zechariah, the original Hebrew meaning of that name means the Lord has remembered. Another thing I want to just say really quickly is if you get names on spirit boxes as well, or if you get a name for your spirit guide, look up the Hebrew definition of that name, okay? Or the try to go as far back as you can, because there is a little message in there for you to know what kind of energy spirit that you're dealing with. So, anyways, sorry, what were you going to say, Carol?
So every year, but this year's been more abundant, but I have a coyote that comes into our yard, and I'm able to get closer and closer, and I talk to it, and he is now able just to sit there and chillax while I'm like walking towards him. But he'll eat the apples, but now, like I said, he's just laying down and relaxing. So 2 days ago, I talked to an elder native woman, and she said that was my spirit guide, and it was an ancestor. So that was really interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she said some amazing things, and I can't remember all what it all was about. But when you were bringing up the spirit animal, having a native kind of say that, because they believe in spirit animals and their ancestors and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I've been told that too, that a lot of times your spirit guide will present itself to you as your spirit animal as well. That's what, growing up around a lot of Native Americans as a child, they tell stories, they talk about not the secret ones. I've never been invited to a powwow, but
I did. I was in one once.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome, because they never, because where my relatives lived and where the kids for the most part grew up was a reservation in Omaha. They grew up in Omaha on a reservation. Now, on that particular reservation, look, if you were 2 shades lighter than red, you weren't welcome. Okay, even look, you could be, related directly, because these are direct relations on my mom's side. I was never welcome.
That's
Okay,
where I
you had to
was.
be,
Omaha.
But
Omaha is where I
yeah.
went to the powwow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'd like to know what reservation that was, so I could kick my cousin in the teeth for lying.
Yeah, it was. They had the powwow at the University of Omaha, but I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna say had. I had a friend. We had who's native, and it was amazing. It was pretty neat. But I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's done. I just threw that out.
Ooh,
there.
yummy. Kelsey, you want me to
Noodles.
start off on some card readings?
Yeah, we can do a few.
Yeah, am I gonna get one tonight?
We can do a few. We've got about 20 more minutes or so, and then I'm gonna move over to John's.
What are y'all going to talk about tonight?
Oh, really?
My channel is going to be doing scary ghost stories tonight.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, just copy me, John.
Oh, dude, I've
Go
been
ahead.
doing that
Okay.
for over a year. You're the one who copied me.
Go ahead, steal my ideas. I wish I could be on my computer for these because, like, I want to be. I just figured out that whole face thing last night. The what do you call it again? Snap pics or whatever.
FaceTime?
I finally figured out how. You know, I
Oh.
downloaded it, got it to work, and I figured out I got so many saved up that I like to use.
Oh,
Game I can't be on my computer.
Snapcam.
yeah.
Snapcam. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, sorry, Diary. I just
Gosh,
I
Boomer,
just
it's not all
channeled
about
John
you.
for a minute there. Sorry.
How about we do 5 card readings for those who pick the numbers, and then maybe a couple people that we just choose. That really need it.
I can't be in the chat, so can I just verbally answer?
Verbalize it. Yeah, verbalize it. All right, guys. I'm gonna be reading from the Earth Magic cards. I don't know if Kelsey's gonna do card readings at all. She's got some cards too, guys.
I can. I don't mind.
Okay. Alrighty.
Let me interrupt really quick. I just want to thank Stephanie. I appreciate that. That just noticed. So thank you, Stephanie.
Damn, I lost him.
Okay.
What'd Benny Loco say about going to the hospital? Sorry.
She's going to is it Randvat?
I just see Rand.
Her friend.
Oh.
She's gonna go visit him, I guess. And
Randemonium?
is it Randy? It says
Randemonium's her husband.
I'm not sure.
Hope everything's fine.
Much love, Benny.
You know, I'm even gonna go one step further. I'm gonna write down a number and predict.
Pick a number 1 to 10, guys.
This is what I wrote down before she asked. Am I right? There, let me turn it upside down so it looks right. I don't know.
Is that an
it was
M?
right.
That's a 3. Am I right?
No.
Damn.
Who?
See, you
Okay,
guys
I had
suck,
5.
man.
I was.
Looks like
That's close, Boomer.
Tammy might have had it first.
Tammy. Yeah, Tammy's on mine first.
Yeah, she's on mine first too.
Oh, that answer didn't count anyway. I was just screwing around.
If you would have wrote it if you would have wrote that the top part like that, it would have been a 5.
No, it would have been a backwards 3.
Okay, Tammy. Think of your cue.
Yeah, mind your Q's and P's.
These noodles are spicy, but they are good.
They look good.
I tell you, this woman lives on noodles.
It's good
Every time I'm on a live stream with her, it's noodles.
because they're good.
Girl
and
lives on
spicy.
Chinese food.
For real.
All right.
And seafood.
Like crab legs.
Nom.
Stop.
Oh, crab legs.
God.
Nothing like a good
Welcome.
set of snow crab legs or
Yes. Yes.
Queen.
All right,
Stop.
Tammy, you got the Gaia card. Nurturing. Receiving can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give to you. It may be a stretch to do so at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit can be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. One way to achieve this is to nurture yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self-nurturing. What comes to your mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for yourself? Set aside your ritualized habits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nurtured. Lie on the earth and ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her and relax into her loving care. That was beautiful.
I like that one.
Once again, Tammy, this was your card.
I'm going to interrupt for just like a quick second. I've got to jump off here because I got to be up at 6 a.m. to wake Gracie up for school.
Alrighty.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm glad I got to meet you, Shelby.
Y'all, you too.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you
You
for being
too.
up here, Shelby.
Of course.
Love you.
Love you too. You guys have a good night.
We
You
will.
too. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna give y'all a 4-minute warning, and then I gotta get set up for my stream. So
Okay.
All right, guys. Pick a number 1 through 10.
7.
Boomer. Boomer got it.
So
Does
I
that
guess-
count in that
Yeah.
we were on a delay?
Yeah.
Boomer, you actually got lucky for once.
It happens once in a while. I should have saved that moment for another scratch.
Lucky number 7.
My lips are on fire. But it's so
I
worth
can't
it.
do nothing about that, but
All right, Boomer. Boomer. Oh, wow.
yeah, I forgot
wow.
about the time delay. I should have counted down before I said it.
You got 2 cards, Boomer. And it was weird because when I was doing the cards, it came up like this. Like a triangle.
Oh, like a teepee.
But you got the same card as Tammy, which is Gaia.
Okay, I'll save you the time. You don't have to read that
So
one.
basically, you just need to go outside of Mother Earth and lay in the grass.
Yeah.
Let her hold
I'll
you.
wait.
In
Can
her
I wait till
bosom,
spring? It's chilly in New York now.
right? And the other one is awesome. It goes perfectly with it. It's tree grounding.
Oh, yes. I need grounding.
So I'll read that one for you.
The tree of life.
You have been feeling scattered and spacey lately. You are not fully in your body, and that is because you have not been able to get grounded. This is quite literal in that your body is made of the materials of the earth. So when you feel disconnected from your body, you are inevitably disconnected from earth. So get yourself grounded. You can do so quite simply. With your feet firm, planted on the ground wherever you are, feel the etheric roots that extend into the earth. Follow your breath so that each time you exhale, you imagine that these roots are going even deeper. Each time you inhale, draw up the loving, nurturing power of Mother Earth. As soon as you have the chance, go outdoors and sit or stand with your back supported by a tree. Feel its solidness and integrity. It is simply being a tree. Breathe in the essence of tree spirit and allow this to fill you up. Walk barefooted very slowly on the ground so that you can maintain this connection.
all right, guys.
Wow.
Great.
Thank you.
John.
Bye,
Love it,
John.
All right, John.
I'll be
fair
over.
warning, if I don't get a link, I'm unsubscribing.
Tonight it was just gonna be Kelsey and I doing live scary ghost stories. So
Ooh.
I'll be over in about 15 minutes.
alrighty, sounds good. See you guys.
See you,
Bye.
John. Thank
All right.
you.
Later. Oh, I thought it was gonna be an improv story thing.
No.
like we were doing.
Oh my God, these noodles are so good. I've still got a lot of them.
Are
All right,
those the
enough
Look
ones
at
of
that
that,
sauce.
that you sent away for, or can you get those at the store?
Oh, these are the ones I got on Amazon. You supposedly can get them at stores, but you'd have to go to like an Asian store.
Guys,
Oh.
pick a number 10 through 20.
8.
Ah.
I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten dinner. It's almost 1 a.m.
10 through 20,
Talking about, I'm
guys.
about to go grab another PB&J.
For real though. I just had one.
I had it in
10.
Constable.
There we go. Liv got it. Goal getter Liv. Give your
Yay.
question.
Thank
Let
you
me
for your
guess.
question.
OMG, look who's entered the chat.
Wow, MudCon.
MudCon, where have you been?
Hey!
Ah.
We've
Where the hell
missed
you been my
Mm.
last 3 live streams, MudCon?
Yeah, gosh, MudCon.
Put them on the spot.
All right. I'm unsubbing for MudCon. That's it. Tired of his shenanigans. I'll be back.
Get me a PBJ.
All right, goal getter Liv, think of your question.
Much love, Benny.
Benny leaving?
Yeah, she's going to see Rand. Now MudCon went MIA again. No more comments from MudCon.
We scared him.
MudCon, how many fingers am I holding up?
4.
1.
Kelsey. That's funny.
Love you, MudCon.
Mm.
The flavor of these are so good.
But you pay for it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But they're so good. It's worth it though. I love spicy stuff, so you know,
Water, free.
even though it burns, it's still good.
Burns the tongue.
All right, Liv. Goal getter Liv, you got the DNA card. Karma. All right. Aspects of your soul entered your primitive physical self long before you had begun to take form. While the DNA that you inherited from your biological parents has a physical component, it also has a soul pattern that came together in the creation of you. You are predisposed to follow the karmic dictations of this patterning to some extent. You have to evolve in your consciousness and expand the light of awareness so you can make choices that shift and modify this ancestral gene. This is one of those times you can feel the tug of your soul that is both ancient and karmic, yet you also recognize the persistent and loving communication from your higher self that contradicts the more familial solutions before you. The choice is up to you, but know that every time you heed the guidance of your higher self, no matter what etheric or physical form takes, human consciousness is elevated. In a sense, it becomes a choice between destiny and fate. All right. That was for Liv. Did you want to read some cards, Kelsey?
Yeah, I'll do a couple people and then we'll go ahead and end it out.
And then...
Yeah, you did 3, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'll do the last 2.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah, and Alicia, they're good. I'm gonna have to hold on for a second because I gotta give my throat a second. The first time I ate those, my uvula, you know, that thing that hangs in the back of your throat, it got swollen.
Oh,
Yeah, the first time I ate them. After that, though, I haven't had any issues. Knock on wood.
what does Boomer have there?
All right, guys. I'm thinking of a number between 10 and 15.
12.
Boomer.
Oh, that?
That guess don't count. I already had a reading. But it's 12 people. Guess 12. That's
Dad
good.
said, calling on Mudcon, calling on Mudcon. Come in, Mudcon. Come in, Mudcon.
PB&J and natural Doritos.
10 through 15, guys.
Nobody said 12.
Wow. Wow. Okay, Tracy got it with the number 12.
Tracy, good girl. Somebody listened to Boomer and got it right.
It took a minute. All right, Tracy, I want you to think of your question. I'm not going to do the shuffle thing. I'm going to do whatever is warm under my hand.
Good to have a guy on the inside, huh?
It's just so funny. Like, you literally should go play the lottery.
Yeah.
Look, I'm $3 down, okay, people? By $20 worth of tickets, I won 17. So it only works for guessing numbers, I guess.
All right, Tracy, you got 2 cards. All right, so Tracy, I'm hearing an echo. That's weird. I haven't been hearing an echo at all till just then. Okay, it's good now. All right, so you got 2 cards, Tracy. First one is career transition. Archangel Camiel. Oh, I'm still hearing it.
Cameo.
Huh?
Cameo.
Camiel?
I think that's how you pronounce it. Cameo. Yeah, Camuel.
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 Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. You've prayed for help with your career, and it's now occurring. Sometimes change is perceived as stressful, yet I'm helping to clear the old from your life to make way for the new. Pay close attention to your receptive ideas, dreams, and visions, as they are divinely inspired roadmaps pointing the way along your desired path. You may not see the entire road or where it's leading, but each step will be lit along the way. Working with Archangel Camuel. Camuel's name means he who sees God. His ability to see clearly helps us to find things, situations, and people. He's renowned for helping people find the career best suited to their purpose and passions. Call upon Camuel as your career counselor often. That lighting sucks, guys. I'm sorry. Victory is your second card. Very pretty.
Is that Michael?
No,
Oh,
Sandalphon.
okay.
Sandalphon. Okay, that one and Metatron are the two archangels that have walked the earth as human.
Yep.
That's the ones.
They're the ones that wrote our stories.
Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So let me get to that one really quick. You deserve this time of victory. Your unwavering focus and dedication have resulted in blissful manifestation. Peace and pleasant feelings are yours right now. Let your focus be on this present moment and savor each feeling and experience fully. Know that the future is taken care of in a positive way as you allow yourself to enjoy the present moment. Feel good about who you are and know that your success benefits others. Working with Sandalphon. Sandalphon is one of the two archangels who were mortal men who lived such remarkable spiritual lives that they ascended into archangeldom. The other one is Metatron. Sandalphon can help your life be a masterpiece as well. Ask him to help you live in integrity with your spiritual gifts of prophecy, healing, and manifestation fully awakened. Sandalphon can help you speak your truth openly in a way that benefits everyone. He'll also help you appreciate all the miracles and victories of every size in your life. I hope that helped you out, Tracy. I hope that was a good reading for you.
I like that one.
I did too. I like that victory card. All right, so I'm going to shuffle this up really quick before I...
Are you familiar with Supernatural,
The
show?
Yeah, I've not really watched it. I can't get into it.
You
I know
who
it's weird.
played Metatron in that?
No.
Booger
Booger.
from Nerds.
I haven't seen that
Revenge of the
either.
Nerds. Never seen that?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, you guys make me really feel old.
No, I'm right there with you, Boomer. I've seen it. It was in our era.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Think of a number between 1 and 10.
Eight. Wow, 3 in a row. What do you know?
You want to do that over again?
Come on, Mudcon. Say 8, Mudcon.
I'm just going to give it to you, Elias. No, that's funny. I'm just going to go ahead with it. That's hilarious. Good night, Tracy.
Good night.
All right, Elias, I'm going to give this one to you. Hilarious. Boomer. Oh my God. It's so funny because I started off with the number 1 and I said, nope, I'm going to do number 8.
That's why I had to think so long. You were still making up your mind.
After this reading, can you do one for Stephanie Ferrante?
Yeah, I'll do one for her, and then after that, we'll close it out.
Okay.
And I'm going to
Wait,
hop on.
who's Stephanie Ferrante again?
I know you're messing around, Boomer.
That's my unofficially
Almost
adopted
answered.
daughter from New Jersey.
Almost answered.
Hey,
All right. So we've got.
See you, Dad.
Excuse me. Good night, Dad. All right. I've got one card here for Elias. And your card. Okay. How do you pronounce that?
Clairsentience.
Clairsentience.
damn it, my mic was muted.
All right, guys. So clairsentience. Archangel. All right, Boomer. Boomer, here you go. What archangel is that?
I can't read it. Ragiel.
Ragiel. Okay. Let me get to it, guys. Guys, I swear I can read. There's just some really like big words and different
Yeah,
unique
what was God
words.
thinking, you know?
I know. What the heck?
What happened to good old Michael, Sam, John?
What'd you say his name was again? Raguel?
Ragiel.
Raguel. Oh, God. Raguel. Okay. Notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. Please honor your feelings. Don't be afraid of deep emotions or intense feelings. I can help. Hold on, I'm sorry, I just set that down. I can help you distinguish between your own feelings and those of others. That's weird. That we were just talking about that. Not. I'll also help you clear any energies you may absorb. I'll guide you toward people, situations, and places with clear and loving energy. Your receptive emotions and physical feelings provide important information, so please notice and follow these feelings. They're answers to your prayers. Ask me to help translate confusing messages so that you'll clearly know which steps to take. Working with that archangel that I'm not going to name again because I suck.
Ragiel.
Thank you. Like an air traffic controller, that archangel oversees archangels and angels, ensuring harmony and cooperation and order among them all. In this time, or in this same way, he'll help you sort all your feelings, enabling you to notice, understand, and follow them. There you go.
It's a good one.
That was. All right, guys. So one more. That's for Stephanie. Stephanie, I'm gonna.
Four.
I'm gonna shuffle yours, Stephanie. Hey, Smoking Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Oh, what's up?
And then after this, guys, we're gonna close it out, and we're gonna move over to John's here in a minute. So I'm gonna get Stephanie's last, and then yeah.
Yeah, hopefully my data will be able to hold the YouTube signal.
Yeah, really. It's done pretty good on here, though.
Yeah, it only went out, what, once or twice?
I think just once.
Once I switched over to... Yeah, as soon as my son got down the block is when the hotspot went away. Like,
wow, I'm surprised it kept up that long.
Yeah.
Or that far, I mean.
Well,
That's
if I was
funny.
like, if I was 2 lots closer to where they live, I could probably still get up on that hotspot from them.
Do you want to know something hilarious? I shuffled the cards, okay, and the card that fell out, the same exact card.
Oh, wow.
That Claire sentence.
Oh, Claire sentence.
That one.
Claire sentience.
Sentience.
Do you want me to read that card again, Stephanie? I shuffled it. I was told to stop. No more were falling. And that's the one that stopped. Or that's the one that fell. Which is so weird. I can read it again. Archangel, what was the archangel again, Boomer? Raguel. Oh, you know that archangel. All right, and on the card it says, notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. Please honor your feelings. Don't be afraid of deep emotions or intense feelings. I can help you distinguish between your own feelings and those of others. I'll also help you clear any energies you may absorb. I'll guide you toward people, situations, and places with clear and loving energy. Your receptive emotions and physical feelings provide important information, so please notice and follow these feelings. They are answers to your prayers. Ask me to help translate confusing messages so that you'll clearly know what steps to take. Working with Ragul, like an air traffic controller, Ragul oversees archangels and angels, ensuring harmony, cooperation, and order among them all. In this same way, he'll help you sort all your feelings, enabling you to notice, understand, and follow them. So that was that, guys. And
Didn't you have like two or three that were like two others that were the same card?
no,
Right.
I
I
got
don't think so.
I got one of the same card from Diary earlier, same card that she read for somebody else, but
That was the only one that I got.
I think
same,
all Kelseys were different ones.
except for that last one that was the same as I
Yeah.
can't remember whose.
Yeah.
I think Eli.
The Diary ended up pulling two cards, and one of them was the same as the one she just read. So I told her to skip that one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. So on the panel, I'm gonna tell you all who they are again, and then y'all can tell them what you're gonna do on your channels or whatever, and blah blah blah. So we've got Carol out of the comfort zone. Do you have anything that you want to tell about your channel before we jump off?
Gonna go live on Sunday, and I have a spooky story coming out, and maybe a surprise happening. Well, definitely a surprise happening on the live Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That could only mean one thing. She's gonna ask Boomer D to be a special guest. That's all.
You should come be a special guest. Most definitely. That would be awesome.
Hey, if the invite's there, I definitely will give it a go.
Yes. Well, you come back.
All right. Boomer, do you have anything that you're going to do on yours anytime soon?
Well, right now it looks like I'm limited to just and I forgot to mention it earlier, and I'm hoping it still happens. There's another YouTuber in my area that's going to come down, and if I can live stream it with live stream a little bit of it with my data, I will try, but I'm at least going to do some video recording. We're going to go over to this area on the other side of the town, which used to be the old prison camp where they held Confederate soldiers during the Civil War, that existed from 1864 to 1865. And there's been reportings, and we didn't know at the time, but my son and I and two of his friends had an experience with an apparition over there a few years ago, but we didn't realize it till later on what had actually happened. But we're going to try to do some recording at least. So I'll be taking my other phone that doesn't have service, utilizing that as a recorder while using the app on this phone to see if I can pick up any kind of evidence via my app. And hopefully that goes off without a hitch. But other than that, there were supposed to be live streams tomorrow night, but probably won't have. I got to straighten out my Wi-Fi so I can do my panel live streams again. But yeah, I think everybody knows the basics of my channel. Once I get up and running again, I was gonna say Thursday nights, but no, it's changed. Wednesday nights at 10. Do improv storytelling thing where a few people come up on the piano and we take turns telling bits of a story. And Fridays when we get up and running is going to be paranormal discussions with maybe a special guest doing something particular with either card readings or it's been a while since I read my Michael cards. I might do that too when we but yeah, I'll have EVP sessions, dowsing rods. These are the guests that'll be doing these because I don't have that. All I have is Michael cards. So I'll have one person come up, maybe do EVP session 1 week. Maybe the next week the special guest would do rods or what you call it thing, pendulum and such.
Yes.
So,
All right. Thank you, Boomer. And last but not least, Diaryofhermind. And your mic is muted. Oh, there we go.
Dot.
dot.
So everybody, I'm going live after this. So head on over. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, screw you, Jen.
Funny.
Just playing. Yeah. I'm working on some videos, guys, so stay tuned for that. I do plan on going live here soon. I might just do it spontaneously, or I might put out a video letting you guys know ahead of time. But that's pretty much it.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it all. Thank you, everyone out in the chat, for being here. Thank you to the mods for taking care of all of my links. I appreciate it so very much. And
No
I sure will, Melisha. I'll send that to you. And so I'm going to move over to John's live with HSFL Paranormal. So guys, go over there, show him some love, go hang out with us. We're going to do some scary stories tonight. So go over there and enjoy, sit back and relax and listen to some scary stories. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you all most likely Saturday. We'll see how it goes. If I can get a good amount of people together. And we'll do something. We'll figure out what to do then. So I'll see you guys then. And till then, you all have an awesome weekend.
Much love, everybody.